Hey, here we are in Maine at Camp Forest. We're going to talk some more about shelter. This time it's a different type of shelter, the type of shelter that you'd probably use when you go on an expedition, right? But here we have a more permanent temporary shelter. If you were to go out on an expedition, right, you're going to use this tarp. You're always going to bring a tarp. Even in your backpack, bring a small tarp. You can set it up with a ridgepole as a piece of rope and tie off the four corners. Throw a tarp in your canoe when you go on a river trip. But this is a more permanent camp, and we're going to set up the tarp. This is the main camp of Camp Forest, right? And so we've set up this more permanent. You can see we have a ridgepole of a nice long piece of white ash here, and it has a crotchet that's holding it, and then one nail. You don't want to use wire on a tree, on a live tree, because it'll damage the tree as the tree grows. It hurts the tree. So a nail is actually better for the tree than wire. And so we've used these crotchets. And these also are the walls where we've used black locust crotchets, which is very hard wood, and it's down into the ground so it won't rot. But you can see the little Y's on here. So we've made this crotchets on all four corners with the black locust. And this is built under the oak trees. And oak trees are very strong, resistant to storms and such. The branches don't break. So it's perfect to have a camp underneath the oak trees because they're resistant to all the ice storms. Their branches are very strong and their roots are very deep. So we don't hurt the tree by being all in and around its roots. So that's why we're using the oak here. So when we've installed these benches in here too, and these are all done with crotchets as well, small ones. And then we put some cedar slabs here, and we got some other types of benches here that are notched and set in. And so this is a more permanent, this is our base camp of Camp Forest. And we have our open fire here, right? And this is tall enough that the smoke goes out. So we're gonna start working on putting up this tarp. So keep watching. And we're going to put up our tarp, right? We have our more permanent temporary shelter, and we're going to use this tarp to make it into a nice dry house for us with our open fire in the middle. We can sit on our benches. We can be nice and warm even if it rains and stuff. So there's a couple ways I'm going to help get this tarp up, because you see the ridgepole is pretty high so that the smoke goes out and everything. One of the things I got is this stick here tied with a string, and this is tied onto one of the corner grommets, right? And we're gonna get this, we're gonna throw this stick over. And the other thing I have is this stick here but I put the bag that the tarp was in, I tied it on the end so I don't poke a hole in my tarp, right? So I can push the tarp. So now, first we're gonna throw this over the ridgepole so that we can use this to help pull the tarp over. And see that? Now I've pulled that over the ridgepole. Now can you grab this end here? It's good to have multiple people helping put up your tarp. And so now I can pull this up. Make sure it doesn't catch on there and rip the tarp. Right? So now it's a little bit difficult here, so now I'm going to use this. Start to work on it. Okay? Now I got to get the other corner up. So, hey, so here we are, Camp Forest, putting up our main camp tarp. And see, we've thrown over both corners with the stick. And now we're getting it up over the ridgepole. This is the difficult part. But you can see it's pulling, and we're using the stick there. And we'll come over here. We want to be real careful with this, that we don't rip our tarp. And I want this all the way over. This is going to be my corner. I'm going to tie this corner off in the end. Yeah. Looking nice. Now we're using this stick to get it all spread out correctly. And yeah, thanks. Subscribe and we'll tell you when we put more videos up. Thanks so much for watching.